All right, everybody, it's time for another episode of Survival of the Fittest is the soup du jour. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're still surviving. Yeah, thank you, everybody. All right, then. I'd like to just start the podcast today with thanking Orlando Brewing for always being in the house with us. You know, we had to kind of like put an end to the kegs because we were just getting too much. I mean, I'm putting on this big old belly, whatever. So we're going with some of their canned products tonight, and it's delicious. Ice cold and ready to go. Also, remember you can catch us on Mega TV on Saturdays at 3 here in Orlando and soon in Puerto Rico on Cana Life, donde I am cooking una receta con CBD, some flowers, some goodness, we're just having a lot of fun with that. I think enjoying the food as well is always good. So look for us there. That's on Mega TV Orlando, Mega TV Puerto Rico, ya mismo. And always, check us out. We like to do that stuff. I mean, TV is TV. TV's, I've always said very powerful. It's got this. Certainly the history of television is like wonderful. If you're a TV person, like if you're into TV and you like watching old shows or you remember like old commercials and what have you, then you know where I'm coming from. There's just this sort of, I don't know how it is really. This tradition about television that makes doing it a lot of fun. And when you're on it, they just kind of become part of that sort of club, that TV club of people who've done TV over the years. Remember like in the 70s, they would do a show, or maybe it was the 80s. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I know it had to be the late 70s. There was a show called Battle of the Network Stars where all the different TV series stars would be on these, their network's team. And they would do battle against all the other network stars. So it was, and they'd do all kinds of crazy things. More like a relay race, not anything truly talented or anything like that. But it was certainly cool. I mean, one thing I've always said about TV shows, if you really want to put together a TV show or you want to write a TV show, you want to go pitch it to your favorite whatever. I always kind of say, it's like food where, you don't reinvent food. You just kind of, present it differently, and or you put your twist on it, So I think, a TV show is very similar where you would, kind of just go to the classics, and just sort of follow that template. And sometimes people say, well, hey, that sounds boring. Well, then again, you're doing television. Television is meant to be shared with the masses, and obviously there's a business aspect to it, and that's advertising, and it has to work. You have to attract the people. They have to attract the viewing public to watch your shows, and hopefully you can make a good business of it. But within all that, you get to put together a TV show, and you get to put it out there for the public, and, you deal with all the chaos involved with production and everything. It's a very unique business. So whenever I get a chance to do television, I jump all over it because it's just that exciting. So remember, gracias a Mega TV Orlando, for making this once again another great time in my TV career. Yeah. Okay. Well, enough said about that. I'm telling you, we've been, we just got past the Super Bowl. Now, I don't know if anyone just noticed, the Super Bowl is kind of, and I'm not going to say just recently it's always been a huge, tradition, a draw, almost like it was a holiday. There's you can always extend the American holiday season till the Super Bowl. Maybe Valentine's Day. I can give it that. All right, Valentine's Day as well. But the Super Bowl is past us. I mean, congrats to the Bucks. I think they pulled it out. I mean, what can I say? It's just like one of those things. And, I have faith in my older age that I can do well, because you just kind of see just an incredible, incredible game. I didn't watch it, by the way, just so you all know. It's not like something I do. I don't even want to, I watch it to watch commercials. I watch it to watch the game. I'm a Bucks fan. Whatever the case, I didn't watch the game. I've seen highlights. It's just incredible. It's all good, It's like, wow, right on. But we're past the Super Bowl. Of course, the halftime show always gets its oh, I loved it, oh, I hated it, and I really kind of heard it was kind of not so good this year. I mean, I like The Weeknd. I think The Weeknd's great, and certainly the memes that have been coming out all day about that halftime show have been well worth maybe missing it, but it makes it that much more exciting for me because I go like, wow, how bad could it have been? But c'est la vie, I think once again might have had some deeper message, I mean, there's always these claims like some kind of, like, oh my goodness, there was this message from the Illuminati in the halftime show. And once again, I think maybe The Weeknd pulled it off. Maybe that's what he wanted to do, maybe they wanted to kind of throw everyone, oh yeah, here we go, there's your Illuminati message, can you figure it out? And in all reality, it's just entertainment. Once again, we just go back to the entertaining part of being some kind of, like a singer, an actor, a TV star, whatever the case, just that moment where you have that, you got everyone's attention, and your message has to be clear. And if it's not, then it really leaves it out there for all kinds of speculation, which in our world today and the speed of information and things, with the internet and podcasts and television and on demand and new networks and old networks, and it's rapid. It's like lightning speed. So it's definitely wild. It's a wild time, and I think once again, don't leave it up for the halftime show. Once again, falls into the Illuminati checkbox. Like, what the heck happened there? All right. So as you can tell, I'm at my house there, and that's old Cappy doing his routine. He never fails. Actually, as soon as I get on the mic, he starts doing his thing. He starts to call me. All right, Cappy, it's all good. So I've also noticed birria, los tacos de birria, la quesibirria, and any other form of birria that has become like this mega food trend. And I'm good with it because, I respect the birria. I started kicking it out myself and going like, okay, this is interesting, and then as we go into it, we see that it, the technique is very unique, and as we've learned it, we've learned more and more technique, more and more authentic ways to present and cook, the birria, and it really takes a lot of very interesting ingredients, and then you gotta like literally braise the beef and all these different ingredients, including avocado leaves. And everyone in the world says, like, really, avocado leaves? But it was incredible because we tried it with the avocado leaves and without the avocado leaves. And the flavor was very distinct. And, I was like, yeah, that's cool. I can dig that. I can dig that the birria has its tradition, and if you follow it, then I think you can achieve that sort of perfect flavor, that perfect bite that every chef is looking for. But going back to the whole birria thing, it's like, I see it everywhere now. I've seen even like huge 12-inch flour tortilla birria, where they literally take the flour tortilla and soak it in the flavored fat that comes off of it. And I like to say brisket because it really has a lot of fat, and it gives you that cap of oil that you need to dredge your tortillas in, to give it that sort of reddish golden color, and then for them to dorarse or get crisp on the flat top just perfectly, So, you can, that's part of it. So I think the brisket's really been the best for us to use in the birria, and that's because it does release all that fat, and that fat I think is key. It's key, and as you start to save it, and it sort of builds up, and you discover that you can do so many other things with it, and that's one of those things. But I'm just amazed that you see it everywhere now. I saw one of these, on the Food Network Instagram. How they put out recipes all the time, and for a long. I mean, they do everything. They do all kinds of stuff. But I was impressed that they did the birria tacos. You know, the whole step by step, sort of in a 30-second like Instagram sort of, and really cool. But you know, what is this birria trend? Where did it come from? I'm just not sure. You know, I mean, birria is one of those things that has been around forever. I also like a very similar sandwich, actually, a torta, which is called a torta ahogada, which very similar. You can use pork or beef and just put it inside of a big bolillo or a big, like, you know, bread bun and literally soak it in a flavored broth, the broth that you cook the meat in. And it's just one of those, like, yum sandwiches of the world, la torta ahogada. So maybe we can kick that trend off, you know, with the torta ahogada. And now that the birria taco seems to be like absolutely everywhere. I think I've even seen someone do a birria martini. I mean, really? Let's pull it together, people. A birria martini? I don't know about all that. But, hey, that's cooking and food and drinks, and people do what they do. And we got to just kind of respect it and at the same time enjoy it. So, you know, it's one of those things. So birria has made the big. Let's think about a funky birria dish. I would possibly, I don't know, like maybe like a birria s'mores. I don't know. I mean, and once again, I'm thinking, and you might say like, oh God, really? But seriously, let's think about this. S'mores, chocolate. Let's think mole. Birria, you know, let's put some birria on some of that, and including the marshmallow and the graham cracker. I'd go for it. I would actually eat that. So, does it sound gross? Possibly, but I think in the end we'd probably say like, oh, it's pretty good. I would have to say your birria should probably be pretty salty if you're going to put that much sweet, including the graham cracker and the marshmallow. But I think the mole and, you know, the spice of the mole and the savoriness of it, and this, if you were to do a salty like meat, you know, birria on that s'more, you could do a birria s'more. So there you go, everybody. You heard it here first. Birria s'mores. So, you know, everyone, since I've seen it and everything, you know, so we had to do the birria s'more. Okay, so I'll try it and let you know. And if you try it before me, please inbox me at Instagram at Chef Roberto Treviño. And keep in mind, you can also find us all over the place, every platform, including Anchor, Pandora, Spotify. I mean, you name it, YouTube. We're just everywhere, and I'm so happy. Or patreon.com/Chef Roberto Treviño. You can join us there, and we have a lot of special things for everybody who joins our little club of nonsense, you know, where all the survivors are getting together now, and we're just talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly of our realities today of February 2021, and how things are going in the restaurant business. You know, I mean, it's like the line is so thick now. It's either you're doing super well or you're doing super bad. There's really kind of no more middle class in the restaurant business. It's like, you know, you really have to work it. Even like when we saw like the food trucks and everybody coming out with their favorite little trendy thing, and even the COVID's had its mark on those businesses and on the people's desires. You know, the public's the public. You can't force the public to come to your restaurant or enjoy your food, you know, or believe you're like mega chef. It just sort of happens. So, I mean, you got to always just work hard, find that perfect spot, that perfect bite, you know, that happy space that allows you to just kind of live life and get past this times we're living. Because I tell you what, once again, you know, we can talk about a lot of our chef friends in different parts of the country which are struggling to just keep their lights turned on. So more power to you. You know, we're sending you love. Here in Florida, things are, you know, looking good. I mean, as good as can be. We try to stay very positive. Personally, I stay very positive about things and life and and keep things rolling for myself, and always looking to do exciting things, and push it and get the word out to people to stay positive, and get the word out to people to cook something good, and get the word out to people to just kind of like share that love with people. The kitchen is such a spectacular place. It's not the easiest place in the world. You go through all kinds of drama, which once again takes me back to talking about maybe doing some kind of kitchen sitcom. Once again, I can't get TV out of my mind. It's certainly one of those things that you either have the drive for or not. And once again, let me get into one of these Orlando Brewing, because they're so good. I mean, anybody really, you've got to start sending us more messages. We've been getting some good ones, by the way, but I don't know, some of them we really can't talk about on the air or online, because it's just like, I don't know, maybe we'd be infringing on something or somebody, so I stay away from that stuff. So thank you, Orlando Brewing. Here we go. Let me do a sip of this. Delicious, as usual. I can't help think about pizza. I can't help think about good Thai food, by the way. There's this Thai restaurant that's literally walking distance from my place here in Orlando. And it is so good. I've been there twice since I discovered it. And I've always known it was there, and I was just kind of like, whatever. I want Thai food. I want to go somewhere exciting for it, somewhere that's like, the hottest place, and everyone says, you got to go get your Thai here. But I decided to just go in there and said, whatever. And I ate there. And the place was really, really nice. I mean, obviously very, very clean. That's very important these days. But they kept the protocol up with, the hand sanitizer and everything. And very professional, very, very stylish, well put together restaurant. You can tell they've been in the biz for a long time. And then the food gets to me. I ordered just noodles, of course. You can say pad thai. You can say just about anything. I ordered a papaya salad as well. And the food was exceptional. And I thought to myself, wow, there's actually somebody in that kitchen that has a real respect of the Thai kitchen, Thai food, and they're executing it just beautifully. I didn't, get a look, because they're kind of very private people, and that's fine. I respect that. But the food was just exceptional, and that it sometimes almost brings tears to my eyes. It's a trip, because I'm just, I do my thing, and I'm not so emotional about a lot of things. But sometimes when I eat food, it's so emotional, the moment for me, that it can actually make me kind of a tear up. I'll get a tear in my eyes, well up in my eyes, and I'll say to myself, like, why is this? And I think it has more to do with the sacrifice involved with putting together such great food, putting together something that looks good on a plate, something that you can tell the vegetables were cut properly. It's not some just whirlwind of just whatever. There's a lot of that out there these days, by the way, but something well thought out and something very, very professional and inspired. And I absolutely loved it. So the restaurant around the corner is called Durin, and I just love it. It's here in Lake Nona on Arcuzzi Road, and I'm not giving them a plug. It's not that. You know what it comes down to? It was that moment when I tasted the food and that tear welled up in my eye. I said, there's something special here, and that's what I look for in restaurants. Whatever it is, it can be just some empanadas. It can be anything. But yeah, that's that place, and it made that I had that emotional connection with the food, and it's that good. So you got to get over there and try it, and if not, when you experience that, accept it. Don't question it. Taste that food. Recognize the value, and the effort put into it for your enjoyment. And then, understand the sacrifice involved with keeping it going every day. And then the restaurant becomes, once again, that moment, that bite, that food, that plate becomes something very spiritual and holy to me. Of course, I welled up. I got a teary-eyed because it's that special. So maybe I went on a little rant there. Thank you to Orlando Brewing. It allows me to go for a kind of a rant, but it was again, once again, it's a worth it kind of rant. It's not a bad rant. It's a very positive and happy rant, going off about something wonderful as opposed to something horrible. So, yeah, but you know how it is. So the Thai food was awesome. Let's see, what else is a highlight of my weekend and a highlight of my time since we last chatted? I don't know. Again, I'm very excited. I think we're having some exciting possibilities. The things seem to be getting better. The reports from what, all of our, news media outlets are all saying that things are getting better with the COVID. The numbers are changing. Things are opening up more. We're in the middle of winter, so, I get New York can't dine outdoors, and it's probably very difficult for a lot of those chefs, but I think we're going to get past this, and I think we're going to have just a roaring sort of like just a restart, of the restaurant business. Everyone has a whole nother outlook. Nobody hasn't been affected by this, and who knows what will come of all this. And our new restaurant renaissance, that I think is really just around the corner when we get past this COVID and people start to dine again. And once again, we realized how important takeout, and people have realized how comfortable it is to eat at home. I think that's a whole nother bag of beans, but I think what it's done, it's really made chefs be a little more down to earth, a little more realistic about how they want to approach what they want to serve their guests. And with that, I think we're about to enter some very exciting times for food in our world. And whether you live in England or here in Orlando or in Texas or San Francisco or New York, Los Angeles, San Juan, Puerto Rico, that this is a big shift for all of us. And I think good things are coming of it. And I have already seen it. I think we've all already have seen how positive, how positive your outlook on trying to do the right thing, trying to be successful, trying to produce something unique and wonderful. Yeah. So that's how it comes down. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, I love to do these chats with you. I enjoy them a lot. Please feel free to look us up on all platforms. Share this on your social media. It's really important to us. We really appreciate it. Honestly, it's all about just getting the word out. When I can share a moment like, about the Thai restaurant or that reshift of things for all chefs, I think that's worth it. So share that for me. I'd appreciate it. And remember, we're living some interesting times, but survival of the fittest is indeed the soup du jour. Everybody, we'll talk real soon. I'm looking forward to our next chat. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you soon.